In this video, I will explain how to set up and use email within our DMS software. This video is simply a quick start guide. It will not cover all aspects. If you would like a user manual for full feature setup and options, please contact us and we will provide a copy for you. Before the email will function properly within the software, you must set up a standardized company email. If you do not already have a standard email address for your company, please contact your email provider and have one set up. We recommend using an email address such as info at your domain name here, but this is completely up to you. In this particular example, I will use a Gmail account. This email address will be used throughout all portions of the software, including Sales Manager, as well as our CRM software. This email will only send and is not accessible within our DMS software. If you want to reply to email, you will need to monitor this email account separately as you would your own personal company email. This email account can be very active and contain many email correspondences. Depending on the size of your company, this could be a very large task. You will need the following information for setting up your email within the software. 1. The email address. 2. The outgoing SMTP server. 3. The username. 4. The password. 5. A port number if this is needed. And 6. Does this email use secure password authentication? All 6 are required fields. Once you have the 6 required fields for your email set up within the software, navigate to Admin, Company Information, find Location, select your location, Email, and enter the information here. Once you've entered all your information, select Test Settings. If something is wrong, you'll receive a message telling you the information is not correct. If everything is correct, you'll receive a message telling you that the test email was sent successfully. I'll confirm that initial email by checking my Gmail, and there it is. Now we can save and close. If you would like to use a separate email address for service estimates and invoices, as well as a separate email for purchase orders for reply purposes, this can be accomplished as well on a company basis. Only an administrative user of the DMS software can set this up. This is beneficial to sort replies to emails to the appropriate departments. To set up service estimates and invoice email, navigate to Admin, Preferences, Email. Starting from the top, select each of the 5 email message items. And if you do not see any information here, simply select the drop down and select it. Now, under the purchase order reply to email is where you would simply enter your purchase order or your parts department's email, possibly a parts at yourdomainname.com. For video purposes, I'm just going to use. And for your service invoices and estimates, this is where you would enter most commonly would be service at your domain name. Again, your parts department as well as your service department will need to reply to these emails using your own email provider and cannot be replied to within the DMS software. Once everything is entered correctly, simply close the form. Of course, to send emails to customers, vendors through our DMS software, as well as any other software, the customer's or vendor's information needs to be entered in the customer or vendor record. Once you have implemented the email function, it's a good practice to ensure all employees enter an email address when entering a new customer or vendor into the database. However, there is no need to go through your existing customers or vendors currently and add this information. You are now ready to start using the email function. Let's start by sending a customer an estimate. I'll open an existing estimate. I'll go to the Summary tab, select Email Estimate to Customer, and I'm informed that the customer's email address was not entered. I'll select Yes and enter the email address here. Select Save and Close. And the email has been sent successfully. The estimate is sent as an attachment to the customer with a simple default email text, email templates, as we call them, that has already been set up. This email template can be changed. Contact us for the full user media guide for more details on this. Now let's go send a customer's invoice. Go to the Invoice tab. Now you'll also see here you have an option. You can either use the defaults, which is using the standardized email text templates I spoke about, or you can select Customize, and this will give you the opportunity to change the text, add anything that you would prefer. We'll select Email Invoice to Customer. We're asked to enter the email address. But this time, when I hit Save and Close, we'll see a new email body text area appear. Here you can see the customer's ID number, the name, the reply to email address. You can add an additional person's email address here if you prefer, a CC, BCC, and you can also add any different notes that you need here too if you prefer. The other added benefit here is if you would like to send this customer an email without sending the actual invoice, you can still do that by coming over here and just unchecking this box. Will not include the invoice if you want to just send a message. If you wanted to view the attachment, which is the invoice, you could select View Attachment. I'm not going to do that for the video, but you can. Once you're satisfied with everything, simply select Save and Send. You're then presented with a message telling you the email was sent successfully. All estimates and invoices are captured and saved when they are sent for your records. This comes in handy when changes are made on service estimates, so there is a record of these changes for both your company and your customer. To view these, while in the service order, select the Email History tab, and you can see the details, as well as the attachment that was sent at that time. Now let me show you how to send a purchase order. If we navigate to Items, Purchasing, Print Send Purchase Order, you're presented with a sortable list. We can sort by PO number, vendor, or prepared by, or the receiving status. I'll select Some Items Received. And now below, I see the PO number, the date the PO was created, and you'll also see a date when the last email was sent to this particular vendor. And I can still see the PO is open here on the right. When I see by the date, it's been about 2 weeks since the last communication. So I want to send another customized email to see what's up. I'll click on the line, and I'm presented with the email options. I could select Continue if it were the first time I were sending the PO. But I need to customize my email text to see what's taking so long for the part to get here. I'll select Send by Email with optional customization. And now I'll select Continue. And here I can change the text. I'll select Save and Send. I'll receive a message telling me it was sent successfully. Now if I close this, and refresh up here by selecting the exclamation point, we can see that the date changed. Now, if I closed this and reopened it, that would have changed for me automatically. But for demo purposes, I wanted to show you that you can simply select the exclamation point and the list will refresh for you. You can send purchase order emails from your We Need screen as well. But you must first create the purchase orders before you select Print Send Purchase Orders. I'll prepare and create one now. Now I can select Print Send Purchase Orders. This opens the list we showed earlier. I'll just double click here. Now for this purpose, I'm just going to leave it alone and hit Continue. And off it goes. We just sent the PO to our distributor. If we go back here, we see a list. You can also view these purchase orders by selecting the magnifying glass to the left of the individual line. Let's take a look at the one we just created. Now you're ready to start using the email function within our DMS software. Remember, the full user media guide is available by contacting our office.